Well, we've already got those dirty rebels on the run. This war's gonna be over in a week. Hello and welcome to Civil War in Hindsight. I'm Lieutenant Tommy. With me, as always, is Prospector Johnny. And before we get into this week, since we're kind of at the end of the month, Prospector Johnny's got an update for us to catch up all those people who just tuning in for the first time.
That's right, Tommy. We're going to get a brief update, a recap, kind of where we've started up to where we are now, in case you're just joining us. So basically, this started at the election when South Carolina saw Lincoln was, not happy about expanding slavery. He kind of didn't say shit about it. But anyway, he got elected. And instead of even waiting for his inauguration, South Carolina pieced out. What?
No, you're right. Yeah, that's a good recap.
I mean, that's what happened.
Yeah, South Carolina got bad. They pieced out. Yeah, you're right.
Without even him being in office. He couldn't even do anything. Buchanan sat on his ass and didn't do anything for a while. Meanwhile, some other states started... I don't know. Did they start before or after the inauguration?
They started before.
Doesn't matter. They started dropping like flies. And so after that, they started taking over all the federal forts and federal property and all that stuff in the area, to which the North did absolutely nothing about. They just kind of let it happen.
Yep.
Ignored it, just like they ignored the fact that they seceded from their union. Lincoln finally makes his way into Washington, D.C. or Baltimore or something, but he had to dress in drag to do so.
Yeah.
And then... that caused some riots or something, and then some riots protesting the riots, and then the police got involved, and then somebody shot something, and then some people died.
A couple people died, just a couple.
Yeah. The South kept taking stuff, kind of got everything. States kept seceding. North hadn't really done anything, and that's kind of where we're at now.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
We did try to keep one thing, and that was Fort Sumter.
Fort Sumter was kind of,
we tried to keep that.
Yeah.
And then the Confederates shot at it, which is now where we're
That's
at.
what started.
Yeah, now that's why we're in war.
Oh, also,
but not really war.
Note about that, nothing happened during that.
Yeah,
just
no.
Thousands and thousands of shots fired, and then a couple people and a mule died in the celebration of losing.
Yes, yeah.
By the North.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's where we're up to in the last and final week of May. So the week, Johnny, is going to begin with a rebel retreat and federal boots on Virginian soil. Whoop whoop. That's
I made a map. I improved my map.
Yeah, Johnny.
Also, these are the states, by the way.
The red.
These are the dirty traitors in the red.
The happy faces
the blue
are the territories
faces
that are okay.
That's the good stuff. And then I got some question marks. One of these border states, I don't really know what they're going to do yet.
Yeah.
Don't really trust them. And then gold's over, obviously.
Yeah,
gold.
Yeah, gold.
That's what I'm after.
That's what Johnny's. But he's like, no, he's somewhere in the middle. That's in the blank area. He's not even at the gold.
Yeah,
yet.
I think I'm here. I don't know. There's some big, tall shit in front of me, so.
He got lost. It happens.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
So on May 24th, the day after Virginia is going to officially secede, because remember, they seceded by their government, but then they let the people vote, and the people voted at the end of last week finally, and they say, we're seceding.
Yeah. So Virginia's gone. But wait, what about, there was a pretty good portion of Virginia didn't want that.
Yeah, the whole western part of the state. Yeah, well...
No.
I mean, no.
Did the West not get a vote?
No, the West got a vote, but their votes, I mean, there's less people in the West than the whole rest of the state.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So it matters less. That's fine. Okay.
So it matters
less.
Virginia
is no longer a question mark.
No, yeah, they're officially seceded. I think you already had them as next anyways.
Well, I redid my map. I went to my cartographer, and he gave me a few pointers.
A little bit more.
So I redid it a little bit better than it was last week. But now they're gone too.
So the day after officially seceding, the Union is going to take it upon themselves to take over Alexandria, Virginia, which is right across the Potomac. They're going to go across in steamboats and across in bridges as stealthily as possible for an untrained, uncoordinated mob of new soldiers.
Well, and stealthily, also, how many people are they carrying around with steamboats, and then they also have bridges that they assembled?
No, they're just taking the bridges that are already built. It's several thousand Union soldiers are participating in this raid.
Okay, that's hard to be sneaky.
At the start of this whole thing on May 24th, by that time, most of the city had already been abandoned. There are only a few civilians in the city that had stayed around in Alexandria, and then of course there's a few Confederates that are there.
These are the people waiting out that hurricane.
Yeah, these are
that's coming. I'll be fine.
Don't worry about it. So this does lead to several shots being fired, but most of the Confederate troops hightail it the hell out of there. The civilians are like, yeah, we're good with this, but we do get, Johnny, our first officer casualty of this war. Northern, it's a Union guy who'll get it. So Colonel Ellsworth of the 11th New York, also known as the 1st Fire Zouaves, which is a bunch of firefighters who put on big puffy red pants and think that they're fancy with some stupid goofy looking hats, and they go rushing in towards Alexandria.
I'm guessing it has a little bit of pomp and circumstance to why they're wearing those uniforms. Like they didn't just come together and design them.
We'll do a special episode on Zouaves because there's a bunch of different Zouave units that are being developed. So this
is a firefighter-based unit.
Yes, firefighters.
And we lost one of the good ones.
Yeah, we lost Colonel Ellsworth. He's going to rush into the center of Alexandria. He's going to see a dirty secessionist flag flying from the Marshall House, which is a hotel that's there in Alexandria. So he's going to go into the hotel. He's going to go up the flight of stairs. He's going to rip that dirty flag down off the flagpole, and as he's coming down the stairs, the proprietor of said hotel is not going to like that too much. James Jackson, and he's going to take his double-barrel shotgun, James Jackson, and he's going to shoot Colonel Ellsworth point blank.
Wait, he's not a soldier. He's not allowed to do that. That's just murder.
That's just murder. Yeah, he's not a soldier. He's just he owns a hotel,
he's going to
murder Ellsworth for taking down a flag.
Is this the basis of the stand your ground law?
It might be.
This guy's got his flag stolen. He's like, he took my flag.
He took my flag, so I gotta defend it. James Jackson himself is actually going to be killed right afterwards by a Private Francis Brownell, who you shot my colonel. We're not going to have this.
I mean,
fair play. Maybe you should have. Maybe you should have saved one of those other barrels for me, but you didn't. So pew pew pew. Shots fired. Deaths.
That's fair. That's what a soldier's job is, though. Like if him or his company starts getting fired on,
you fire back.
Return it.
There's definitely that. General Benjamin Butler, after the whole raid of Alexandria, which does go off successfully, Union troops are now occupying Alexandria by the end of May 24th.
Great.
Great. Good. We're there.
Just that easy.
Just that easy.
Lost, one officer?
Yeah, it's okay. It's fine.
We took
a couple pot shots,
took
over a whole city.
Get out of here,
This war's over in a week. I got even more.
Like you're a real country. You can't.
Even better news later on in the week, Johnny. So, General Benjamin Butler at Fort Monroe, he's going to refuse to give up 3 slaves that he gets into his lines over the night of May 23rd. So 3 slaves, runaway slaves, come into his lines on May 23rd. Confederates are asking for them back. He tells them to F off. But
like, hey, remember this thing that we're doing right now?
But the union is also like, well,
you don't get that.
What are you going to do? Like, are you going to release them? Nah, they're contraband of the war now, so we're just going to keep them.
And put them in a drawer somewhere? Like what?
I don't know. So this is going to
become... What do they mean keep? These are...
Yeah.
I thought we were supposed to bring people. I thought it was like, oh, we finally realized, these slaves are people too.
Yeah. So,
but we're not. They're not obviously still in a.
So it comes to the question of what do we do with what do we do with them? I mean, we have to take care of them to a degree because you runaway slaves, but
send them up through the railroad or whatever, the Underground Railroad, and they'll get there. Don't they have places set up to help them once they get out?
Yeah, up in Canada, yeah. But as of right now, it looks like they're just going to be hanging out with Butler at Fort Monroe.
Okay, well, I'm sure they'll be treated well. So.
And a former U.S. officer, a U.S. captain by the name of U.S. Grant, is going to offer his services to Lincoln and the Union, saying, hey, look, I'm willing to come back out of retirement. I had a couple failed business ventures.
I was going to say, what did he do? So what's his backstory? Who's he?
Well,
are we happy he's joining up, or is this?
I don't know. He did fight in the Mexican-American War. He did a pretty good job there. Served as an adequate soldier. He did have a bit of a drinking problem. And
Who doesn't?
And it's America.
I'll drink to that.
That's what you're supposed to be doing, right? We're all supposed to be drinking. Has a bit of a drinking problem, and his commanding officers are like, "Hey, you should probably just turn it down a bit,
Chill a little bit."
Grant said, "If my drinking becomes a problem, I will resign." Well, his drinking became a problem.
So he chose the drink.
Yeah, his drinking became a problem, so he did in fact resign. But now he's offering to come back. So
Okay. Drink or no drink, or is it as long as he can drink?
Well, no, he's gotten no reply so far from Union High Command or Lincoln, so we'll see how that pans out, I guess, if he does come back.
All right, whatever.
I don't know the guy
it sounds
personally,
like we don't really need him. We're already winning without him.
Yeah,
he's just kind of a failed.
The war's going to be
drunkard.
over before he can get in, anyways, right? On May 25th, full military funeral services are going to be held in the East Room of the White House for Colonel Elmer Ellsworth. The guy who just got blown away by a shotgun. Lincoln himself.
I mean, that's nice, Elliot. I mean,
that's early. That's quick.
A hero's funeral.
We're moving right on this.
Good job, Lincoln. Finally, you did something right instead of. Oh, I forgot to mention in my intro.
Habeas corpus.
Lincoln declared martial law a little bit after the riots, which was kind of not.
That's
cool. So wanted to get that in real quick.
That's gonna come back here
again
this week. Yeah. Well, okay. So
also forgot my intro. If you've made it this far, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and
like us,
find out. Continue to find out what happened.
So Lincoln's going to quote during the funeral say, "So much of my promised usefulness to one's country of bright hopes for oneself and friends have rarely been so suddenly dashed as in his fall." It's war, Lincoln. People die. What did you think was going to happen? Young people are going to die. It is war.
I assume he also figured when he announced martial law that he's like, oh, well, all the guilty people will just turn themselves anyway, and all of my officers will definitely not arrest people just willy-nilly.
Yeah, I'm sure none of that's ever going to happen. Now, on May 26th, Union General George McClellan is going to move 3 federal columns into western Virginia to protect the Baltimore and Ohio railroad lines and provide support to pro-unions there. As we talked about, the western chunk of Virginia is pretty much pro-union and does not like the dirty South. So they are.
All right, so what's going on there? What are they doing?
So U.S. General George McClellan is moving 3 columns of troops into western Virginia. By the 30th of Virginia, he's going to take over Grafton and secure the rail lines there. So it seems, and he's going to get a welcome, a very friendly welcome from most of the civilians in Grafton.
So this is somebody coming in to basically take over, but not take over people who are like, yes,
please,
that's
help.
fine.
Yes, yeah, come in.
We have a lot of these people that we don't like over here.
So now we have 2 cities by the end of this week occupied by Union troops in Virginia. So with nary a shot fired, minus a couple of casualties here and there. But for the most part, pretty.
So this is how it works. Basically, the Confederate sits there and wastes 4,000 rounds of ammunition on Fort Sumter. Nothing. We walk in, get one general killed because he stole a flag. Colonel, excuse me. Because he stole a flag, and then take over 2 cities.
They take over 2 cities. Yes, we sure did.
Just like that.
The postmaster.
Good luck, Confederate.
Postmaster General Montgomery Blair of the United States is going to cut off postal services to the South starting May 31st. He says they are in active rebellion. They will no longer get mail from the U.S. government.
Also, I'm pretty sure the USPS isn't shipping international very often. So
so
they want to be there. It's the USPS, not the PS. Get your own rail or mail system.
Yep. On May 27th, General Butler would move his troops to take Newport News in Virginia. So operations completed by the 29th with no major casualties. We now have 3 cities occupied in Virginia. By Union troops.
I mean, Virginia, are they regretting that whole secession thing yet?
Probably.
I mean, that was. If I were in Virginia, I'd be looking around, being like, guys, all these other states, they seceded way before we did. Why are you all bullying us?
There's no Union troops in there. Well, Johnny, they're bullying Virginia because after Virginia seceded, the Confederates decided to move the capital from Georgia to Richmond, Virginia. So by the end of the week, by May 30th...
Hold up. If the capital's taken in a war, that's a bad thing, right?
Yeah, so we have the 2 capitals...
And so they had it in Georgia
yes,
here.
Yeah, yep. Yep.
And they moved it
It's right across the river
there,
to
which is
like
it's like over
within
there.
a day or two
Yeah.
jaunt of our capital in Washington D.C. So yeah, our two capitals.
Why
are, like,
wouldn't they just leave it in Atlanta? And I mean, that's further. It's harder to get. We would have to.
Well,
We're gonna take this in a week.
yeah, probably, or
What on? Good God.
But in any case, on the 29th of May, President Davis of the Confederacy he's going to arrive in his new capital of Richmond, along with his contingency, and start setting up operations for the government there. On May 30th, Lincoln is going to weigh in.
Order everybody into Virginia to take it over real quick because they're just setting up.
We should have done that. Well, actually, I skipped ahead a little bit on my notes. I'm going to go back. Also on May 29th, this is really important. So we're talking about the habeas corpus thing, right?
Okay, yeah. So we got more martial laws.
So
Is that what we're doing here?
there is a Chief Justice by the name of William B. Taney who's now going to weigh in on this whole martial law thing. On the 25th of May, a John Merryman was arrested by military order, military dictate. They came in, the military. US
Through
military,
martial law, they just
through
like,
martial
we
law,
want to arrest you, so we're doing it.
John Merryman because they claimed that he was recruiting for the Confederacy in Baltimore.
Okay, well, I mean, if that's true, get out of here.
Well,
but
yeah,
you,
but
you can't just arrest him and hold him, right?
So John Merryman appealed to the local justices there, and they weighed in. They finally weighed. So the Chief Justice in that region, Justice William B. Taney, said that it was unconstitutional for Lincoln to suspend habeas corpus. That the president does not have the right to suspend habeas corpus, and that any arrest by military personnel to civilians is unconstitutional and illegal under habeas corpus.
Good for him.
Good for him. I support this 100%.
Absolutely agree.
Lincoln is going to weigh in on this on the 30th by saying, "Nuh-uh."
Wait, that's not how it works?
He says that the Constitution of the United States does have a provision to allow for the suspension of habeas corpus during an act of rebellion, which it does. Now, what he's ignoring is the fact that has to come from Congress, which is not in session right now. So a president can't do that.
Himself.
Yeah, a president can't do that. It has to come from
Congress. A little dictatory there.
Yeah,
Lincoln.
So
you might want to give that a reread.
He's going to ignore this, and Merryman is still incarcerated by military dictate. So we'll see.
So he overrode a judge's decision about this.
No, it's not the U.S. Supreme Court. This is a local.
No. I know.
But
I
yeah,
got it.
Well, a
a
local Supreme Court.
They're still well versed
Yeah.
in whatever laws there may be.
Yeah.
And I don't. Was Lincoln a law student? Did he go
Yes,
to
he
law
did.
school?
He
Okay.
had a failed failed law.
You don't say. Was that because he thought, oh well, the president can override anything and do whatever he wants because that's what I want when I later become president, dictator.
Yeah.
Lincoln.
Yeah. On the 30th of May, Lincoln is also going to weigh in on the whole contraband slave thing, and the decision is that any slave that would enter Union lines would be brought in and cared for, so would be taken care of while they're within, while the war is going on, and they would be given work in military installations. Johnny,
I'm sorry.
We would take them in. We'd feed and house them.
Yes.
And we put them to work.
And pay them a fair salary on top of that because they're now employees of the United States, I would guess.
Yeah.
And they would probably get federal holidays off and all the benefits and everything else. So that's nice. That's great. That's fantastic.
Fair wages.
Except none.
They got paid. I don't know.
Room, board, and prison wages. Okay, got it.
Yeah, there you go.
Not much has changed.
So, yeah. The month/week is going to end on the 31st with the federal Potomac flotilla shelling the Confederate batteries at Aquia Creek, Virginia. No reported casualties, so we got another instance of up on the Potomac, just instances between our blockade and batteries on shore of the Confederates.
Just a whole lot of noise.
Yeah, a whole lot of noise and not a lot of anything else coming from it. But this war has to be over soon. We're already taking swaths of land in Virginia are now under Union control.
And it seems like the South has used at least half their ammo.
Oh, by sure, but have to have. So stay tuned next week, and we'll see what happens. That's it for this week in Civil War in Hindsight. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And if you enjoy this content, please check out Historic Hindsight, where we talk about, weekly random podcast things like women freezing in the snow and, other types of battles.